They were sad we were delayed.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
This is HNN, the Holotable News Network. You're not even remotely close to around the clock Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, reactions, reviews, theory crafting, and more source. I'm Sir Georges, your host, along with my distinguished co-host, Celiac Sarah.
Hey. Good afternoon.
A little
So
bit
weird.
earlier. Yeah. And we have two big headlines today. One for the math people, like Sarah, and the other that we can all enjoy very soon. The first one is about turn meter and speed overflow change.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we need to take on this, but they
No.
are changing the way that turn order or who goes first when people are tied for speed or tied for bonus turn, changing the way it's done. Up to now, it's always been just a random coin flip. If two people reach 100 at the same time, then somebody's going to go first. We don't know who. If four people do, then it's completely random. But now there will be some method to the madness so that you can try to predict or try to improve your characters beforehand to win in a tie. But it's very subtle, and I'm not sure it'll change how we play too much.
No. It's super, super dry in my mathematician's opinion. I think that what I took away from this, though,
Yes.
was there's no longer going to, like, for me personally, anytime I go up against a CLS team, if it's a mirror match, for instance, I'm always like, oh, what's going to happen?
Right,
You're
right.
right. And now you just know, what's going to happen. So,
Yeah.
if your Han's faster, you're going to shoot first, which is
Good point. Yes, I
pretty
didn't even think
cool.
about that. That'll be the main
Yeah.
way you.
That's the big thing. And they did add a note to the bottom of it, which I think they did after the fact because I don't remember reading it the first go round. That says it's Han and Watt because they both take bonus turns. Han will go before Watt.
Right. I think that's the way it already was, but now they're making
Was
it.
it?
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess now they're specifying that even when Watt's faster, Han is still going to go first.
Yes.
So what it's the update is about is that when they add Galactic Challenges next week, currently turn order has been chosen randomly from all units that have 100% turn meter, which can lead to unpredictable results. The new system has a few rules for units with over 100% meter to create more expected outcome. They talk about overflow. Yeah. I don't think that's the best way to understand it because you don't get to, it doesn't carry over. But basically, now when let's say Anakin, or let's say two units, one has 75% turn meter, one has 50% turn meter, and both gain 50% turn meter because of something triggering.
Right.
Then the first one, who had 75, will now be at 125% turn meter. Still maxes out at 100, but they've got an overflow that gives them priority over the person that was at 50% turn meter and is now at 100. So that means that even though both are at max turn meter 100%, the first one has 125% because of overflow. So they'll go first over the person that just has 100%. Whereas before, it was always a toss-up. Because they're both at 100%, overflow is ignored, and it's just random who goes first.
Right. Whereas now there's like an actual formula.
Right. Now, if both of them are tied with the same turn meter, so going back to our theoretical situation, both are at 50%, both get a bonus 50, both are now at 100, exact same, even with overflow. turn meter, then it's back to a or no, then it's the highest speed unit that will act.
Yes. And then if that is a tie,
yes.
Then it's a coin flip.
If they have the same amount of turn meter and overflow, and if they have the same speed, then it'll be a coin flip chosen randomly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a technical update that I don't even know what the right word is for it. It's just we did this, so we're telling you we did it. And
yeah, I'm glad they did it, because I'm glad that there is some method now. Because, you know, if one unit is faster, they should be the one going first in a tie.
Right.
Or if you had a character that was really close to going next, like 95% turn meter, but then something triggers to where you're 70, like Rex doing his thing that gives everybody turn meter and tenacity up. If you were planning, you know, that you've got your speed at the start of the match, even though Rex is going to go first because he's very fast, you want your other units to go in a specific order, but it's always random. Now, if you've got one at 90% turn meter, 80% turn meter, and 70% turn meter, Rex does this thing giving them all 100%. You now can plan beforehand which one's going to go in which order.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And that's all the news.
Yeah. And then for those that didn't know, bonus turns are different than max turn meter. Bonus turns have priority over 100% turn meter unit. And bonus turns are also going to follow the same rules. So if something triggers Jedi Knight Anakin to get his bonus turn, but the other enemy Jedi Knight Anakin also gets their bonus turn, then it'll go to whichever unit is faster. And if they're both the same speed, then random.
Yeah.
And then they did give their own example that you have to, you know, keep track of the percentages in your head as they talk through it. But again, you have to be a math person, like Sarah.
I can't. I need to, like, the entire time I was trying to visualize it as I read this, and I was like, I can't. Like, this is I need to actually do a battle and see how this works.
Yeah.
It's just too.
I'm a math person, so I loved it. I was like, this post is perfect. This is exactly how they need to explain everything.
Oh no. And like every other post they do, they've got little like videos going and like gameplay, and this one there's nothing. I'm like, I can't even like see the turn meter bar moving. So
right. Then anyway, moving on to the more interesting post, that a new game mode, first one in about 2 years since we got the Galactic or Grand Arena. We now finally next week are getting Galactic Challenges. They look to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Do
you want to read through highlights of the State of the Galaxy for August, Sarah?
Sure. Okay, so they dropped this on us yesterday in typical fashion. So basically, the State of the Galaxy, the only thing they really talked about was Galactic Challenges in it. And that next week we are getting the title update. So I am assuming the title update's probably going to drop on like Tuesday, the 11th, because the first Galactic Challenge is happening next week and it's starting on the 12th.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, and then this update, they also mentioned that basically there's two things to this title update. The first one, obviously, is that Galactic Challenges are coming, and the second one is just that it's a bunch of behind-the-scenes type update going on so that they can do more new events like Galactic Challenges. So I don't know if that means they're just going to reskin Galactic Challenges into something else, or more new content is coming.
Yeah.
Perhaps a ship raid.
Right.
I don't know.
Their new tool set lets them create a lot of more different events. And going by this post, I'm excited about whatever new events they come up with.
It should be good. So let's see. What did they say? So Galactic Challenges, the new PvE mode. And they went over it very, very briefly in the road ahead that they dropped a few weeks ago, whenever that was. I can't even remember. Okay, so basically they are saying that you have, just to refresh, there are modifiers that are on the Galactic Challenges. So you have modifiers based off of global, which, if I'm understanding correctly, is like the planet that you're playing on. Player and enemy. So player is obviously you and your squad, and enemy is the computer that you're playing against. And that each one is going to be based on a planet, and that loosely shapes what kinds of encounters and factions you will find.
Right. So they gave a cool graphic showing you the first Galactic Challenge. It'll be in the events tab. And this example here is a Deathstar Galactic Challenge,
which is cool.
Very cool. And you are fighting Thrawn and all the Empire non-Sith trooper characters. And they have a global modifier, which I think changes. So even when Deathstar comes back, that global modifier might be different than it was the first time. The global one affects your units and the enemy unit. The player modifier only affects your unit, and it can be new abilities as well as just new unique or buffs that happen to you. And then there's an enemy one that only affects enemies to help them out. So some examples they show.
Yeah.
I think this will be probably in the Deathstar one because it's Empire related. So we've got Emperor Palpatine in the leader slot with the new unique Imperial Edict 1. And it says if there's an Empire ally in the leader slot, they gain plus 30% max health and max protection. And other Empire allies will instantly revive when defeated. So if you've got Palpatine here, leader of the Empire, he gets a bunch of bonus health and protection. And when anybody kills the other units around him, they instantly get revived. They've got to kill the Emperor before they can try and permanently kill anybody else. That's cool.
I'm oh man, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even read the text that was in the graphic. I was just like looking at the pictures and I was like, this looks cool. And now that I'm reading this, I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool.
Yeah. This is gonna be great for opening up very fun new ways to play the game. Strategy. When an Empire ally is revived this way, so your shore trooper has been taunting for you, he dies, gets revived, then the ally in the leader slot, Emperor Palpatine, will then taunt for 2 turns. Whenever an Empire ally in the leader slot uses a special ability during their turn, all Empire allies increase the damage the leader deals by 10%, and all other Empire allies are called to assist. So and if no summon is present at the start of the encounter, summon a snowtrooper operative if the ally slot is available.
That's cool. So you get a 6th.
Yeah.
A 6th tune.
So this one modifier to this Galactic Challenge makes your Empire leader really cool. You know, you got revives going on, mass assist, increased damage, basically just superpowering the leader, and a summoned snowtrooper operative that you get to play with. And that's just one of the modifiers of the 3 that occur from this Galactic Challenge. That's really cool.
It's cool that there's going to be, I like that there's the 3 modifiers because you're juggling 3 things at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
And I like that it helps fulfill the fantasy of, you know, the overpowered Emperor Palpatine. You know, for gameplay balance, he's got to be able to be beat and not be too overpowered to where, you know, characters like Han are impossible to kill him. When if it was Han with his gun versus the Emperor would destroy him. Destroy him.
Yes. True.
This gives us, you know, the scenario where the Emperor is the boss that can kill everybody.
Totally.
I love it. Then they give us a couple examples of global player and enemy modifiers. And then I didn't read these yet because they were too small on my phone whenever I was reading it.
They're still small on my computer.
They are. So the global modifier they have here is Dune Sandstorm. And at the end of every other turn, all units are inflicted with damage over time until the end of battle. Can't be resisted. But that's the one that the longer the battle goes on, the more your units will die.
That's where like all of your theory crafting is going to be really handy.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you're going to have to...
With Vader, how can I stack up all these damage over times?
But like that's going to affect both sides because it's a global one, right? So you can use it to your advantage, but it could also hurt you.
Right. So they suggest to bring somebody that can cleanse your entire team frequently, or someone that can take advantage of the large stacks of debuffs on the Vader. Yeah. And then can you read the
Grim, the player modifier, Grim Machinations? Oh man, this is so small. Whenever a Sith ally is defeated, all Sith allies gain 50% max health and offense, stacking until end of battle, and gain 50% turn meter. Ooh. Whenever a Sith ally defeats an enemy, they gain Dark Ascension stacking. Dark Ascension damage received is decreased by 15%, and then it's cut off. And damage dealt increased by
looks like 30.
Something.
Like
Does it say 30?
That's what it looks like from here.
Either way, so that one is just you.
Right.
Just your team. So that's kind of insinuating you would want to bring your Sith in.
Yeah.
To get the bonus. That's cool.
So these are pretty much taking the assault battles where you get new abilities or special buffs for your characters and taking it to a whole nother level.
And they're adding in, which is like the next thing, they're adding in that you're going to get, there's like feats that you can do. So it's similar to Grand Arena there.
Yeah.
Where you'll have all of these like little challenges you can go up against. And I'm curious, obviously we haven't seen any of them. I mean, there's a couple that they kind of cycle through, but not really. I'm curious if they would give you, if there would be a feat for, like clearing it and not taking advantage of the player modifier.
So like,
you know what I mean? So like you're not
no Sith involved in the battle.
So you're choosing to make it harder for you to beat.
interesting.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good
I think
idea.
I think that would be cool
Yeah,
if that's not in there, you know.
that's a good idea.
Little idea.
Like the early, because there will be 7 levels to the Galactic Challenge. The early ones can be for the weaker players, encouraging you to use Sith, and then one of the feats on the final one could be finish with no Sith.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
idea.
don't have this modifier active at all.
Yeah. And then the enemy modifier example they have malicious minions. Summoned separatist allies have plus 25% speed, health, protection, and damage. All other separatist allies gain half of these.
Oh, summoned ones. Oh.
Right. So sounds like that battle will have a lot of Geonosian brutes.
Yeah.
Or
those rocket droid
right.
things.
Yeah, B2 super rocket trooper.
Yeah.
I like
it.
They actually did, follow through with this state of the galaxy, giving us lots of examples and details.
And they do show as well below in the graphic that's kind of like a video cycling through. They're looking at the feats in particular.
Yes.
Well, they're looking at the feats, the modifiers, all that for each tier. And basically what they're saying is in the rewards list, the rewards that are highlighted in green, you get for the first time for beating that mission, or for that tier. And then the purple gear or rewards, that the highlighted stuff in purple, is tied to a feat. So you know what you're getting for what.
Right. So just winning in general will give you some reward.
Yeah. And then
the purple one are for feats.
Yeah. So you know if you didn't get the stuff in purple, it's because you haven't finished the feat yet.
But you get to replay it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, depending on what the feats are, you might need to replay it.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad it's not a one-time or ticket-based.
Yeah. And it sounds like they also, so in the road ahead, when they teased this, I don't know if you remember, they said something along the lines of it being unlocked when you finished a certain amount of like daily activities or all. That's nowhere in here.
They mentioned somewhere in here about how they've removed that.
Did they remove it?
They were planning on that, but then decided against it. So that now it's just when you reach level 60, you unlock Galactic Challenges.
Yes.
So everybody, without having to do anything special for the day, can participate in a Galactic Challenge once you're level 60.
Which is good because like as they've got the like the schedule as well added, and the first couple run for 7 days.
Right.
But then they get shorter as this is going on. So the first 2 are 7 days, but the last 2 only run for 2 days.
Yeah, I think they're testing out different time spans for these to see player engagement, so that they can settle on, okay, it seems like 4 days is the best, or it seems like people do need a whole week to have opportunity to get all the feats.
Yeah.
Because I think they're all going to be the same 7 different levels, same amount of feats, but they're just giving you different time spans to complete it. I don't know that for sure. But yes, there are purple feats that have different rewards highlighted in purple. The graphic shown here shows it looks like a gold mod just for completing the event, and then some character shards, gear, and gold for beating some feats. The rewards aren't too appetizing, but they're only showing them for level 2.
Yeah.
I'm sure 5, 6, and 7 will be.
I would like to think they would be. If that's what the rewards are the whole way through, then it's a little not enticing.
Yeah, yeah.
But we will see.
And as you were mentioning about the schedule, they are treating this similarly to the way they do Grand Arena, so that there's a whole season going on.
Yes.
And
yeah,
it looks like there will always be, like each day, a Galactic Challenge up for you to participate in.
which would be, yeah, that's what it looks.
So from 8:12 to 9:04, there every day you'll be able to play in one of 6 different Galactic Challenges they're going to be. So they're not even just starting off with, here's one. It'll be open for a week, and then you get to do it again in a month. The same one. It's for almost an entire month. Here are 6 different Galactic Challenges.
It's a really clever way to ensure you have your player base in the game.
Yeah.
Whereas like right now, you can go in, you can get your 600 done in like literally 2 minutes, get your challenges in,
right,
do a couple squad battles. Like you can be done everything in game in, 10 to 20 minutes, depending on what you're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And this is
ignore the raids, ignore the
exactly tag your 0. You can ignore stuff, and this is a really clever way by having one every single day with feats, with things that you need to do, of keeping people coming back into the game and spending more time in game.
Which is where they really need to focus, because I've had very little exciting stuff to do.
No.
Because I'm I love the raids, but it's all old news now.
Yeah, there's nothing. Everyone knows what you need to do to
Right.
solo them or sim them or whatever. So
right. This is exciting. This looks fun.
I'm curious. I would assume, so like for instance, the second one we're getting, which was part of the example they used, takes place on the Deathstar. You're facing Empire enemies, and your player modifier is going to be bounty hunters, which is just awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm curious so that's the second one. So then in, 2 months when it rolls back around, if this one comes back, will the feats be the same? Would the modifiers be the same?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, would you eventually get to a point where you know what you need for each one and how to get through it?
Right.
This also would be if you are like a perfectionist type person and you want to get all of the feats and you want to get kind of like everything check marked off in game, you're flushing out your roster really wide theoretically to do this.
Yes.
Theoretically.
And it'll be really fun theory crafting. Some random
like
not very good tune because
could
of
you
like the Imperial Edict thing for Emperor Palpatine. You're not gonna want Thrawn in there, or General Veers. That one is specifically, you want Palpatine built up and ready to take advantage of. But they could do the same thing with some random, like, get your Rolo, because she's gonna
Tuskens.
Like,
could you imagine if they were like, yeah, we're gonna give you a player modifier for Tuskens? Like,
yeah.
Why? But they could. They totally could.
For sure.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't see that happening in any of these 6 events.
No. These ones they've got it all laid out.
Right. Sith, bounty hunters, rebel, empire. Old Republic
Mhm.
and Separatists.
Separatists, which these are factions that most people have flushed out fairly decently.
Yeah, yeah.
My Empire, not so much. I
I'm
got until
excited.
August 29th. Yeah, so that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked. And you know, I don't know how not to be excited, because even if you don't like the first event, the next one will come soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna actually have new content every few days.
Yeah.
For the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. And they open up at level 60, which seems low.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it looks like they're gonna balance it out to where everyone gets to participate. Because level 2, the enemies are only gear 9. So everybody's gonna get to play a few levels up to their power where they're at in the game. With in-game players probably having difficulty in 6 and 7.
Yeah. That would make sense. Either way.
I'm excited. And like, this is even better than a new territory battle.
Yeah, because it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's not something that's reskinned.
Right. And it's not, okay, I have one attempt to do this, and then I've got to wait a month. Or I've got 1 week to play this new game mode, and then wait a month.
Yeah. And you're not relying.
Yeah.
You're not relying on the rest of your guild either.
Right.
Which can be a little frustrating.
Right. This is, yeah. Or you can choose to partake in it or not, because you don't have guild members depending on you.
Yeah, if you're like, I'm going to skip this one, I'm not going to bother wasting my time and beating my head against the wall because my bounty hunters aren't up to par, then you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
I think this is going to be fun. I really hope that they are also going to be bringing in some other events like they mentioned earlier in this, other game modes. They said options to create even more events and game modes in the future was Top Hat's exact words.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome.
Which, you know, for a long time they've been harping on. We're improving the foundation, the stuff underneath the hood. This looks like it is a step up from the content they've been creating.
100%. This is actually like new. It looks like a combo of assault battles, and then you just get the feats from Grand Arena.
Yeah, and it looks
and the
modern.
territory, and the territory war modifier kind of thing when they had that
right
twist going forever ago and then never brought it back.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
I do too. So we've been talking a lot about Galactic Challenges for our That's No Moon, because that comes next week.
That was our That's No Moon.
Yeah. Let's see. So for the first one is on Tatooine, and use Sith to fight Separatists. Which unit do you think will be most needed for that?
Ooh. Sith to fight Separatists.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like summons are going to be part of it.
Yeah.
Separatists.
You're going to want... I think you're going to want Vader and Palpatine.
Yes.
Especially like now that Yeah, now with like the reworked Vader.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I was using Vader because before he was reworked because I felt like I had to use him because my dark side sucks. And now I'm like, this is fun to use Vader. So
Yeah, very fun.
Sith. Darth Nihilus, I would take. I like using him as well. My Treya is squishy, so I don't know if she would be. I guess it would depend. Now I feel like I need to look at my Sith.
Yeah.
I don't want to
because there will be lots of options depending on the modifiers.
Yeah, that is so they've listed what is coming, but they haven't listed all of the info.
Right. Like there's no list of here are all the different types of modifiers that could appear.
I forgot that Dooku is a Sith as well as a separatist.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
So the second one is the Deathstar event, where you're using bounty hunters to fight Empire.
I'm gonna be screwed on this one. I'm so screwed.
Looking at bounty hunters, I'm gonna say do we have
against Empire?
You know, I bet Grief would be really good because he's a good dispeller and healer. That could be a way for them to get people to build them up sooner rather than later.
Mine's 4-star gear 1. No mods. The usual. Yeah, I'm this is gonna be real bad for me. I have 1 gear 12 bounty hunter. And the rest of them are gear 11 and under.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my bounty hunters and I'm like, how did I get Chewbacca? Because they look so sad.
Looking at the picture that they gave us, I don't see a number of waves in it. So it might it might not turn out to be different waves. Like 7 different levels of play, but each are only 1 wave. So it's different than I thought it was going to be. It won't.
That's a good point.
It won't benefit characters that are good at multi-wave or having to live for a long time.
And they have a timer up top.
They do.
That's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's already like giving me anxiety.
It might be just for their testing. Because they have timers in a lot of these images. But maybe it is can't keep it open forever. I don't know.
I hope not.
I don't know.
That one's not going to be good. The third one on Malachor,
where you use rebel characters
against Old Republic. I feel like that's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be facing rebel characters against Jedi Knight Revan, basically, is how I'm reading that.
Or Karth and...
Or Karth, yeah. Yeah, the scoundrels, Karth scoundrels.
Right.
Yeah. This is all going to depend on... I want to know what the modifiers are.
Yeah. So what would be cool is if they did Tatooine, where you use Sith, gets to highlight the reworked Vader. Deathstar, where you use bounty hunters, highlights the Mandalorian.
Yep.
And then Malachor gets to highlight the new Rebel fighters with Mon Mothma.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
what
to
I was
think,
thinking.
you know, they've got to use this to try and highlight their recent releases.
Yeah, totally. There are no recent releases in Empire.
Maybe they'll give us the Moff Gideon from the Mandalorian show.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Maybe he'll
something a
launch
lot of
like
people
at the start of
prefer.
it or right before or something.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. But then you have, I don't know, because then you have, this one makes me sad, Jakku, and you're going against Resistance. I want to be the Resistance. Come on. And you're using your Old Republic, and they're done with that. So.
Oh yeah. So with this schedule of the 6 events they've given us, you don't get to use.
I don't get to use
Galactic Legend First Order or Galactic Legend Resistance. Those
No.
factions aren't highlighted, which is
They're
good.
your enemies.
I think that's good. We've had enough of them. It'd be too easy for them to dominate this game mode.
I know, it would be so much fun. Man.
They got to
It's
give more
fine.
time for people to get those Galactic Legends before having
Yeah.
a new event that they can watch all over.
And then you play as separatists at the very end
Yeah.
on Camino. That's going to be fun too.
Yeah, I'm stoked. This looks great. This is what we've been wanting for a long time.
New content.
Yes.
I like it.
New ways to use our characters we've been collecting for years.
This is a way that, like, I can see down the road them making you flush out your roster even more.
Yeah.
To work on characters you've ignored.
Depending on how the rewards are for this.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like eventually you will get to a point where you will work on those characters because there's nothing else for you to work on, but I guess there's always a Galactic Legend.
Yeah, yeah. So, is there a Bantha in the room this time?
A negative?
Yeah. Was there anything you were disappointed by from the State of the Galaxy?
I was disappointed that they only touched on this, only on Galactic Challenges, and they didn't highlight anything else. They just said, hey, this is coming next week. I'm curious if they just don't have anything in mind.
Well, they're doing some kind of communication each month. So it seems like
some kind.
Because the last one they gave us was 6/26.
Mm-hmm.
So a month and a couple weeks, month and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave us a few details on Galactic Challenges, but no pictures and not a lot.
Mm-mm.
This time, just a few days before releasing it, they just unloaded all this stuff on us that they could have sprinkled into last time, but decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should just expect a road ahead. Just focus on what the next month will currently hold.
Yeah, what the next thing is, and no sprinkles.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. I don't think there's a Bantha in the room. Nothing's stinking up the joint.
Other than that, I can't use my Rey. Although you can't use your Kylo.
I know. But I get to use them to solo the Sith raid and stomp in arena. I get to use him.
I get to tag my 0.
That brings us. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, okay, so no Bantha. No
Bantha. Which brings us to our I Love You, I Know segment.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's easy to get jaded by this game, but there has to be a reason why we're still playing this game after 4 years and so long since we got a new game mode. But let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. So, for the last couple of weeks, what have we enjoyed in this game? I will say, I'll start.
Yeah.
I am tired of a few of the game modes. Like, even though I can solo the raids with my Kylo, the fact that I have to do it manually, it's just the same every time.
Over it.
I'm so over it. But what?
Because I obviously I don't have Kylo, and I have no, so I can't solo the raid because I don't have him.
Right.
So I have not watched any information about it. Do you have to, if you're doing the Sith raid, actually do it manually? You can't. I guess you can't hit auto.
No, not at all.
Oh,
especially because the AI is just so bad.
That's really sad.
Like, I struggle soloing the HAAT in phase 3 because the AI is so bad that my Kylo will always do the AoE move that turns his siphon into bonus mastery. But on auto, and with what's his butt there, Hux, you know, getting rid of his cooldowns, as well as him using his ultimate that gets rid of his cooldowns. He's almost never on cooldown to where he can't use his AoE special or his ultimate. Oh. So I'll literally go through all of phase 3 with him only at the very start using his stun move to gain siphon once. And then for the rest of the phase, he just keeps using his AoE, only giving himself plus 40% mastery.
Right, so he's not really...
Right, so I'll hit and rage and have everybody die. Because he's not stacking enough damage and bonus mastery. So I have to manually, at that point, get 200 or so siphon first. Then hit auto again. And that's one of the reasons why you also can't do it for the Sith raid. I'm not sure if the Sith raid will ever be able to be
autoable.
Right. Because you've got Nihilus doing his annihilates. You've got Freya putting isolate on you. So you have to manually use Unbreakable Will or keep somebody from getting annihilated. The AI doesn't ever use it. The Sith raid, it helps that it can be done quicker with Kylo.
But you still have to.
It's still like 30 minutes of sitting there.
Yeah.
Focusing every turn.
It would be more enticing if it was a new raid.
Yes.
Like a Deathstar one. Sorry, what were you going to say you enjoyed?
Well, because you brought it up, that my gripe with the state of the galaxy is that they are flaunting the Deathstar Galactic Challenge.
I know.
Which has nothing to actually do with the Death Star. So it's kind of a cheap way to say, hey, we're adding Death Star content to the game. When I saw that too. It has nothing to do with the Death Star. You're not flying a ship outside of it trying to hit the thing that Luke shot. I forget what it was.
When I saw that, immediately I was like, so we're not getting a Death Star, right? Like that was my first reaction.
Does this mean we're not going to get any other Death Star content? Like this is it? This is the Death Star for the game?
We've peaked.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't mean they won't add something actually related to the Death Star. Yeah. But on to what I enjoyed. Let's see. I I actually set some defenses in Grand Arena.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've been forgetting. I did not
it
enjoy
is. It's
oversleeping
3v3. Oh
during a
yeah,
merc and then not joining our guild in time to the last territory battle. But
yeah, that was rough.
there hasn't been enough to keep my attention each day in the game.
So this will hopefully help.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed doing some of the feats in Grand Arena.
Mm-hmm. I haven't even looked at them.
The reason I'm paying attention is because they've got a couple really cool stormtrooper icons to get. I already got one of them, the red First Order,
okay, yeah,
Sith Trooper one. You know,
I'm
I
looking
should
at that
probably
one now.
go. I should probably change that to mine.
Change it.
No, mine is Wampa. I'm not taking it away. But I unlocked the red Sith Trooper one that looks really cool.
I have not done that.
You have to defeat 6 units with First Order Stormtrooper variants.
Okay.
So it took me a couple attempts, so it wasn't good on efficiency. But I used them. I used First Order Executioner, Hux, and someone
Hux
else.
Counts.
Yeah, I don't think it counts as a First Order.
Oh, okay. I see. You just had them on your squad.
Right. You have to have the actual kills be from First Order Executioner, First Order Stormtrooper. So what I did was fought a Night Sister team and had First Order Executioner kill zombie over and over.
Oh, that's smart.
So then I don't have to worry about it for the rest of my Grand Arena. I took one loss because he wasn't able to finish with a win versus them. But it was worth it to get the feat.
I like it.
What was your highlight?
My highlight is also Grand Arena, and that I am on track to finish in Carbonite and get my whatchamacallit, my feat for that done. I hate 3v3. This is not new. It is so refreshing though that so what I've been doing is I have been setting I guess I can look at my last one. So obviously I've lost every thing. I've set a fleet and that's it. And I set my lowest power fleet, which is Hux, Plo Koon ship. What do I got here? The Gauntlet and the B-28 bomber. So my fleet is 77,000 power. And then I do nothing. And it is so refreshing to just not do anything. Every day, every time it's like the attack phase, my phone's like, hey, attack your enemy. I'm like, no, not today. So I'm sitting at 800 points. Great. I've come in last every time so far. So I was a little concerned that maybe some other people would do it.
Right. That happened to me.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this could be bad and then I'm gonna get screwed. But no one else has done it so far. So, and I think even now, like I think I'm in a safe spot where even if someone does it, I think I can still make it. Because there's no way.
4 more battles.
4 more battles to go.
You have to stay under 5,700. You're only at 800?
Yeah. I'm only at 800.
You should be good then.
I've done no feat. I've literally, like, I haven't even looked at the feat tab. I'm like,
although, you know, you now at like rank last are going to be fighting somebody else at rank last.
Yes.
So this last week, you're going to be against other people who can only get to this point by doing the exact same thing.
Well, see, and this is the danger zone is I want to join each week because I want the currency, even though I'm
Right.
getting like
Right.
literally peanuts. They're like, here's a teeny tiny little bit.
Here's an omega.
Yeah, like, just a tiny bit. So I want to join, but I'm also like, do I just not join? So I don't risk it.
So if you're gonna get last place for the week,
Yeah.
the rewards are pretty crummy. Like you only get 350 of the currency.
Yeah, it's just like a teeny tiny, but I buy Kairos with it.
Yeah. I would say you shouldn't join this last week. Too dangerous.
I think I could still. I don't need to join the last week to get the season rewards, right? Because I've joined the other
Right. You're in it for this season.
Right. So I will still technically finish the season.
I mean, I guess you could, even if your opponent didn't set anything. Out of the current 4 battles you have left, I think if 2 don't set anything, you'll still be under 5,000.
Right. Like, okay, so this is my guy that I'm just realizing this now because I haven't even gone into review. My last opponent didn't even attack, which I guess he was fine with. He set a defense and did not attack me. The other guy did.
I guess he didn't need to really.
He did not need to, no.
He already got max points for everything you didn't set.
Yeah. So he got I had 100 points and he had 2286. So if somebody also does not set,
you'll get 2286.
We'll both have 2286.
So add that to your 800 and you'll be at 3,000.
That's a dangerous game.
It is. If 2 out of the 4 don't set, then you'll be very close to the 5,700. I think you're fine to join though.
I think, oh man, because that's scary.
I doubt your opponent for this last battle of this week is. I doubt they're gonna just set nothing.
I've gotten really lucky.
Next week, it's unlikely 2 out of 3 of your opponents are not gonna set. At the very least, they'll let it auto set.
Right, and then just not care.
Yeah.
So
I think you're good.
We'll see. We'll see. I just want it now. I'm so close. Yeah.
Now let's move on to our Discord corner where we answer fan questions.
Yes.
Copman3 said, with the new Rebel fighter tag, are there any under the radar Zetas that could help the team? I don't know if it's under the radar, but I went ahead and did Mon Mothma's Zetas.
Oh, you did?
I did. Because I don't think I'll have her built up for a long time. But if she can just survive AoEs, since she can't be targeted, I don't think there's a danger of her dying. And just having her leadership in her summon is great.
I'm just double checking the Rebel fighters. And they're Zetas. I know Cassian has one. K2's is probably not worth it, which makes me sad.
I think both of Mon Mothma's were really good Zetas.
Cassian's isn't. I don't think it's worth it. All rebel allies gain protection up
Yeah, not worth
for
it.
3 turns. I don't think that's worth it. K2's isn't.
And there aren't many, even with Mon Mothma, the kits don't really matter much for these rebel fighters. Just that they get assist and stuff.
What about Jin's unique, making her immune to stuns? I don't know. I was just curious if you're going to use her as your reviver.
No, I don't think.
I don't know.
Cara Dune's got a Zeta that lets her be revived if she has potency up. That would be a good one. Cara Dune might also be good with her revive and turn meter removal on a rebel fighter team, even at low star, low gear.
Who else has a Zeta? What's Bodhi's Zeta?
It's something terrible like potency.
Offense up.
Offense up.
Bodhi grants offense up at the end of each of his turn for 2 turns to a random ally who doesn't have it. I don't think that's good.
Yeah, so no. I think my answer would be no. There are no good Zetas.
There are no sleeper Zetas here. That's sad. That is sad that there's a whole faction without any.
For now.
Until it's flushed out more.
Ski Trooper said, "What rebel fighters would you develop for a Mon Mothma?"
Ooh. Just looking at them all.
That's a better, I think, something we can give a better answer on. I think Cara Dune would be good. I think Scarif Rebel Pathfinder is much worse since they removed the turn meter on basic. Because that was his main selling point. He still gets to revive when he has buffs, but
yeah.
So any team that I would do with Mon Mothma would have C-3PO because of the exposes on basics. Because they're going to be assisting, doing tons of basics all the time. So I would do Mon Mothma, C-3PO, also a non-rebel fighter with 3PO and Chewie, just because they assist every time a rebel ally uses an ability.
Yeah. So you're only going to have 2 rebel fighters on it.
Right. Because Mon Mothma's not even a rebel.
No, which I find kind of weird, but...
She's not a fighter. She's a lover.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I would say, let's see. So we got Mon Mothma, C-3PO, 3PO, and Chewie. So what 2 rebels do we want on the team then? Rebel fighters. One should be a tank at least.
Yeah. So tank-wise, you have Baze, K2. What else is here? Scarif Rebel Fighter.
Baze and Chirrut isn't a bad idea.
Cara Dune is a tank.
Right, yeah. So I'd say do 2 tanks with SRP and Cara, or SRP and Baze, or instead of SRP, throw Chirrut in there just for healing. And most people will have a Chirrut Baze built up somewhat.
Somewhat.
They've been useful in many eras of the game.
You're gonna want. Do you want somebody to revive them?
A little bit, yes, but Mon Mothma revives.
Right.
She's got a revive move.
So you don't really necessarily need to take in someone like Jin.
Right. Because if you decide to go with Kara or Pathfinder, they both revive themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, Cassian and K2SO have pretty good basics.
Yeah, they're fun.
They are.
They're real fun. And Cassian's shock grenade is a lot of fun to use.
Yep. Cassian has buff immunity on basic, which is a very rare debuff.
Yeah. And then you have his shock grenade is going to give ability block, defense down, healing immunity, offense down, and speed down.
Yep. He's a great one. He's got a good kit.
Yeah, I like his kit a lot. But I just find that with him, if I don't have kit, I feel like it's a waste
without
to not
K2SO.
have K2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with Baze. I don't like using Baze without Chura. I will do it, but it feels weird.
Yeah.
So
now with all of Mon Mothma's, she gives everybody gets plus 40% of everybody's combined stats or something.
Right.
That would make a super bulky Phase and Chura.
Oh. Especially like if you have your tanks modded appropriately.
Right.
So
that could be a revival of the Phase.
Yeah. I could see that.
Sanholo asked, would you put more effort into a Chupio or Mon Mothma and Rebel Fighter squad? So I think between those two within a Rebel Fighter squad.
Right.
I'd say get Mon Mothma where she doesn't die.
Yeah.
And Chupio will be the better one to build up.
I am excited to build him.
Right.
Once I can farm him.
Right. Yeah. Me too.
Since I did not buy it anymore.
The blind.
Did not buy any more lottery packs.
I'm glad you did it.
No. I feel like I would invest in him more only because I don't know. Because I'm biased.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say Chupio and then Mon Mothma just to where she doesn't die.
And I also feel like with Chupio, you could fit him on other rebel teams.
Yes.
Whereas Mon Mothma, you're kind of stuck with rebel fighters with her.
Right.
So I feel like he would be more versatile.
Corbs asked, you kind of touched on this idea when talking about Momo. That's a funny Mon Mothma nickname. These new characters breeding life into unused characters faction. What other factions do you want to see get the same love? And what new character would be the catalyst to do this?
Ooh.
So what's one faction that could be revived?
The first one I thought of was Jawas, but I have no idea who you would even throw in there. But now that I'm scrolling through, I would like to see I feel like we haven't used Phoenix in forever.
True. Yeah, Phoenix with their sharing of uniques. You could add just one new Phoenix character or a variant of one of these people. like early Kanan or
I mean, we have like 5 Hans. We should be
right,
able to get another
right.
Phoenix.
Oh, you know, they have had rumors of a new TV show or continuing the story of some of these Phoenix characters spin-off.
Oh,
Like 1 or 2 of them might appear in the new
I think
season of
that
The
would be.
Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, I did hear that actually.
So if you
Um,
added a new Phoenix character with a great unique that got shared with the other ones, you could instantly
that would bring the whole faction.
yeah,
I think they would be fun. I think they need.
that's a good
I
idea.
mean, when was the last time we used them? Light side Hoth territory battles because you have to
Getting Thrawn.
getting Thrawn. But even then, like my Phoenix Frig, they're
Like
all
Gear
gear 8.
5, yeah. Because they, they,
Yeah.
they took so many stun guns and stuff to build up.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Like I only built them after months of needing to,
Mm-hmm.
and then finally being forced to apply the
Mm-hmm.
gear. Just a couple.
And
of them.
I have Ezra at gear 10 because I think I was gonna work on him for some kind of Jedi squad.
Yeah.
And then I saw a squirrel and that stopped real quick. Like that's gone. Uh yeah. That's who I would
That's a great answer.
want to do. Phoenix.
That's a great answer. That'll be my answer too.
there's,
I
there's no other option.
I think they should add the catalyst to make the faction great.
Mm-hmm.
Would be okay. They could add the spoiler alert for the show. The second Fulcrum, Agent Callus.
Mm-hmm.
They can add him, and he can be Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he could be Phoenix and Empire. Or be like Kara, where she operates differently depending on which faction leader she has. Or whatever the new version,
Yep.
if they do come out with a new show with Sabine, or if they bring Ezra's story back into focus, a new version of either of them could amp up the faction.
That is the faction to do, though, I think.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would be so excited.
Yeah.
I'd probably veer left.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah.
I love that show. I loved that show.
It's such a great show. And could you imagine, like, I'm just picturing, like, that would be a ridiculous team if you just reinvested into them.
Yeah.
And had one new character, tweak it a little bit, and then set it on defense and see what happens.
Yeah.
Man. Yep. That's my answer. That's our answer.
That's our answer.
Yes.
Now on to the meta report.
Mm-hmm.
The rank and file. There haven't been any new characters added. It looks like
changed.
Pretty even split of people using Kylo in Arena, people using Galactic Legend Rey in Arena. There are some leftover General Skywalkers, a smaller amount of Darth Revans. So basically, if you just go back in time, each previous meta has its own little chunk.
Yeah.
With the only exception being 149 Darth Vaders.
Of course.
So not much change there. I doubt there's any change in Fleet, with the Negotiator dominating, followed by Malevolence. Which takes us to Uncle Owen's Moisture Farm. Last but not least, let's head to Uncle Owen's Moisture Farm. talk about who and what we are currently farming in-game, because everyone knows work comes before going to Tashi Station to pick up power converters. So who are you working on, Sarah?
Who am I farming? I did start farming Hux and Sith Trooper.
Good.
Slowly.
How many shards do you have?
Hux is 77 out of 85. And Sith Trooper 63 out of 85. I didn't touch them at all once I realized what I needed for Rey. I just completely ignored them.
How are you that close, in my opinion? When I've been farming the Hero Bros ever since I finished Supreme Leader Kylo, and I'm only at 4 out of 100 for Finn and 70 out of 85 for Poe. I've been having such bad drops.
I don't know. Yeah, because I'm not refreshing them. I don't think I ever refreshed them, even before when they were first farmable. I did not refresh them. So I don't know.
So you're preparing for the next. You're preparing to be ready for Kylo's.
I'm getting all of the character shards that I need for it. I have not put a single piece of gear on First Order.
Good.
Mainly because I am so far away, it's not even funny. My strongest First Order character is First Order TIE Pilot, and he's gear 10. So I don't think I'm gonna get Kylo. I just want to have the shards. I want to see where I'm at.
Just in case.
Once just in case.
Just to complete your collection.
Yeah, exactly. Gear-wise, though, I'm gearing the requirements for Luke.
Oh, good.
So, which is just so annoying. I still need to finish Wampa, Hoda, Lando, Rolo, and Han. Captain Han.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
He's fun though. I got him. Mine is now Relic 4.
Your Luke?
Yeah.
Man.
I fought one in Grand Arena. And I hated that I lost the match, but really enjoyed how well he did. Like, there was nothing I could do to defeat him. Because each team, once he was preloaded, I think the guy ran Jedi Luke, General Skywalker, or General Kenobi, Luke, Kenobi, and Hermit Yoda. And it was just impossible to kill Luke. And Hermit Yoda and Stealth with Kenobi constantly were giving Luke more turns, recovering protection. Because the Jedi will thing that he does constantly heals them. And in 3v3, you can't manipulate the match much.
No. 3v3 is just so awful.
And in 3v3, for Luke to slow down your characters and to stun all of them for one turn,
you're screwed.
Yeah, it was impossible.
That literally completely changes how the match will go.
Yes.
No. This is why I hate 3v3.
And every time I went back in it, the cooldown of the Jedi will thingy, the ability he gives, was reset. Because it's not one that they contained beforehand. So because it grants it in the new match, it's on 0 cooldown. So whoever goes first on their team, their first move is the Heroes Arise, where everybody gets 25% health and protection recovered. Jedi Knight Luke gets 100% turn meter.
Yeah.
So no matter what I tried to do, beforehand, like get them all at low turn meter, or
Doesn't matter. Oh man.
Because whichever one goes first, they're gonna give Luke a free turn.
Yeah.
Luke's gonna slow all my characters. Luke's gonna stun all my characters.
Yeah, no. No.
And Kenobi was such a pain. That was the worst. That was the worst.
I am like I am working towards him because I would rather have him over Kylo, which is probably the wrong thing to say, but that's just the way it is. Oh well.
Yeah, that's good. You should work on him. I think he's the best non-Galactic Legend character. I'm working on the BLT ship.
Oh yeah.
The Hero Bros and the Mandalorian characters. Now the Mandalorian characters, I wish I had them built up more. I'm not going to spend refreshes or anything to do it. But
how high are yours?
Do
you have them geared?
No, gear 8 with 4 stars.
Right.
Because a gear 12 is pointless.
Yeah, you're not gonna with 4 stars.
Right.
I mean, mine are in gear 1, so I shouldn't laugh.
I want to use Mandalorians. Kill whatever. Disintegrate. I want to use his disintegrate. But I don't think he'll ever live long enough. I mean, the bounty hunters by themselves, I don't have very much use for.
No. You will. In a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Well, any other comments?
I don't think so.
Thanks everyone for joining us this week. We enjoyed the Discord Corner questions, and we look forward to getting to play with the new Galactic Challenges. That's that next time. That ought to do it. And until next time, Chewie, we're home.